You're running full speed, but the markets are faster. Quasar Markets Live brings the world's top financial minds to you. Everything you need to know in one place. Learn from elite educators and gain a competitive edge, leveling the playing field for you. Join the conversation. Quasar Markets Live.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. You know him best as Peter Thomas, Mr. Goldbug himself. Peter, everybody has been asking me about gold, and I've got to ask you, what is going on in the gold market, man?
Well, as you know, Steve, about a week and a half ago, you asked me the same thing. You said, what's your position? And what did I tell you? I'm on the sideline, baby. It has been, and then it broke $130 after I told you it stepped aside, and then rallied back. So it has been wild. We are seeing every dip being bought. I think something important that we need to touch on for our viewers is the World Gold Council came out today and reported. Now, this is double the prior number. 95% of central banks expect to participate in purchasing gold over the next 2 years. That's
95% buying gold of central banks around the world.
Right. And they said that's their intention. Whether they do or not, they're not. But in the survey that they did, that's what they said. And of that, 76% said that they would definitely be adding to their portfolio within the next year. So the numbers.
Give me the name of those companies. So you're countries. You're saying Russia, the United States, China. What are you talking about here?
Well, first off, I think you hit it. Let's look at China, number one, India, and Russia. All are coming in. They accounted for, along with some other purchases, 166 tons this recent quarter. The numbers are astronomical right now.
Yeah, I have to ask, I mean, why? Why are all these countries buying gold so much?
Well, I think people are still have a bad taste in their mouth over fiat currency. They're nervous. I mean, look at you've seen the dollar crater, and it is the bedrock for almost every trader on the planet. And as their assets have been eroding in their vaults, they're just putting in gold because it's continued to rally against the dollar.
You know, when people come on the show and they talk about the Dixie for me, and they all say the same thing, right? That they talk about the geopolitical issues of those countries, whether that's Japan's issues or in our case right now in Ukraine or in Russia, obviously. And then, of course, you now have the tariffs. Can you put your finger on one thing that people are going, okay, I've got to own gold because of this reason? What is that reason?
Well, I believe, and I have talked about it with you at length, is that I would say the premium on gold, $300 to $500, is geopolitical driven. We have seen so many things going on between attack warships circling Taiwan. Every time Putin sneezes and says nuclear, it runs $40. I mean, people are watching and they are reacting to geopolitical. So that is my number one. But my number two, and a strong number two, is inflation, Steve.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? We just had Powell from Jackson Hole, and we talked about that. The thing that I kept saying was, out of Jackson Hole, I wanted some clarity, and we need to change the narrative, right?
Right.
And Powell came out very bluntly, very quick, had a good speech. I thought it was very well produced. Gave it in a definite, strong, very I know what I'm doing level. Yet he's out in a few months, probably less. You've got another member that's probably leaving because Powell will ask her to leave, or Trump will fire her over her mortgage issue. Trump's going to get maybe another 2 picks to go into the board. It's going to be a very conservative Fed for probably the first time, and I can't even imagine how long.
Volcker.
Volcker. Yeah, I keep hearing that. When you think of it in that perspective, is that going to be risk off for metals and risk on for equities? or does that add to the problems here?
Well, I don't think it's piling on. Let's a conservative Fed, if the conservative Fed pulls back and stays with the numbers that are coming out, nothing's really going to happen except what's supposed to happen. I believe that if we do see the numbers come down, the housing market's going to catch on fire. Everybody's waiting. So I think that amount of equity, we're talking about $1 trillion or more right out of the box, is going to definitely will, number one, generate some inflation, but two, will subsidize all the labor, and all of those tax funds will be coming in. So we're going to have a real yin-yang thing here, Steve. And the question will become, how will it react? And it's going to be very difficult to answer that, other than, and you and I both know this, we've discussed this before, trend is your friend. Gold has been going up for the last 2 years. This year, it's up 35%. People are still buying. So as those numbers, let's say, maturate into the system, I still think we'll see it sideways to up.
Yeah, and when we talk about people investing money,
yes,
and they have to make a decision of which equity or commodity or options or crypto, why choose gold over digital gold, Bitcoin? Why choose gold over oil? Why choose gold over stocks? Why would somebody who, with their hard-earned money, go out and buy a bar of gold, shall we say, or silver?
Well, let's put it this way: if you bought it on my recommendation on this show last year, you'd be up 56% when I said buy gold. It's not a bad return, and the bottom line is you can hold it in your hand. There is zero counterparty risk. I do not have to worry about a stock company going under. Any type of black swan event only makes my gold stronger. So I think it is what's referred to as the safety or the safe harbor of gold. And what's happening is also, Steve, and I think this is important, is the attitude of the individual now is saying, I'm going to put 10% in gold. It's been doing well, and I'm just going to put it away. And we're seeing more of that too.
Yeah, and when I always say the same thing, Peter. Like, I always know when to sell gold because you see all the gold commercials. What do you say to the contrarian that goes, hey, you know what? Everybody's trying to sell you some gold, and
right.
Even Costco is selling gold.
Sure.
What do you say to those people that are out there that the contrarian's going, I don't know, gold's going to be around forever. There's more gold, and I don't really want to buy gold. What else should I buy?
Look at it's your money, and you define your risk. If you feel there's not enough risk in the world at the moment with what's going on geopolitically, and you want to jump into the stock market, go right ahead. All I'm saying is, get some security behind you, brother. You never know what's going to happen. And that's pretty much what it's been. Even with, as the tariffs came in, and we saw a 50% tariff on aluminum, steel, and as well as a tariff on copper, gold still held steady. And if nothing else, it did dip, but it came back. So I'm looking for stability versus risk. That's all.
Okay, so stability. All right, I buy your gold, and I got to store it somewhere. How do I store this gold? That I'm going to buy all this gold. I'm going to put it in my house so someone can rob me of my gold. Is that right?
They have these things called safety deposit boxes at your bank. You can drop them in there, keep it there as well. I'll tell you, I know you love funny stories. I'll share one with you. Customer of mine from 10 years ago calls me, and he goes, Pete, I bought all this gold for it at $1,600. What am I going to do with it? I said, tell me what you want to do. Do you want to get out of it? And he says, I think I want to get out of it. I said, okay. I said, let me arrange to have it picked up. So I sent the courier over to pick it up, and it comes back in this box filled with dirt covered in burlap, right? And I look at it, and I call him up. I go, what is this? He says, I buried it under my wife's geraniums. What's out of this yard?
So he had the gold in the box. Hopefully his wife wasn't in the box of geraniums, but But
It's so funny. But it goes to your point. You never know where people are going to keep gold. I recommend somewhere where people have a lot of guns and bulletproof vests and vaults and things of that.
that's right. Yeah.
But you could put it anywhere you want. Let me tell you something. There's a whole lot of farmers out there with holes in their field where they put a lot of metal.
And let's talk about that for perspective. In the buying and the selling of gold, the paper side of this. How about the derivative side of gold? Are we seeing a move, more volatility within the derivative side of gold?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I would say 2 or 3 o'clock this morning, Central Time, I was involved with some trading in Hong Kong, Singapore area, and the spread was $2.50 wide. That's gigantic. And I was seeing a lot of action in the options and forwards. So to answer your question, absolutely. And the volume is going up as well. We're seeing more people going, I don't want to own the physical, as you're asking, but you know what? I'll buy a future. I'll buy a call. Some people writing puts are a little more sophisticated, and there's no question that you're 100% right.
Okay, is there enough paper? Is there enough gold to cover that paper?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're trading a commodity, Steve. A commodity has an underlying value driven by that market. If it's oil, it has to be in the tank. If it's gold, it has to be in the vault. It has to be certified. There's a whole process for that, which I'm very familiar with, having done a lot of deliveries. So you're 100% right. There has to be an underlying value, and in that case, there is none.
All right. So I'm hearing that the world's going to fall apart sometime around September, October, November, December-ish area. The markets are going to start, falling.
Okay.
What is your prediction for the end of the year on gold? We're at 33.73 here on spot. We higher or lower at the end of the year?
We got to hold 3,000. Now, this is what people forget, and it's important to remember this, Steve. If the stock market breaks, a lot, not a few, a lot of people are trading on margin. So they have to start kicking out their stocks. And what happens? They clean the decks. They come in, they sell their gold, they sell their silver, platinum, palladium. They all call me, they ship to me. I'm sending them cash. I'm even sending cash directly to brokers sometimes. That's what happens. As the water goes down, all the ships go down. And gold will not go as fast, but it will go down. So if we do see a big break, do not delude yourself into saying, oh my God, the market's down, I got gold. No, the pressure will seep over. There's no question about it. I've seen it dozens of times.
So there's no risk on as a hedge against your portfolio of stocks, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. One last question before I let you go, Peter. Sure. The weather around the world, and I've seen this a lot, does it affect the price of gold? No,
not really. I mean, you can have all the hurricanes you want. I mean, gold's not going to do anything. Bottom line is that is a gold mine in Uganda still producing at the same rate if there's a storm in China? Yeah, absolutely. It's so globally diversified that mines in Azerbaijan, mines in China, they're very, very wide areas. So weather usually doesn't affect it.
Yeah. Is there any outside influences that affects gold that person does not know about?
Well, I think the thing that affects gold more than people see is the underlying currencies that it trades against. If as we've seen the deterioration of the yuan, we've seen a larger purchasing of gold by people in China due to fear of their currency. And the currency erosion is probably the number one reason that we see coin and bar and jewelry in India as well.
Man, I love that answer. And I think I'm going to have Steve Flanagan on here with you and talking about currencies against the gold here. Maybe we could get a better feel for gold in, say, Japan or gold in Russia, the pricing. I love this. All right, everybody. Peter Thomas, he's chairman of AU Secure. You can go to the site here. I'll give you his website there, ausecure.com, and you can look up Pete. Pete's a long-term. I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 decades in the metals business, knows more about metal than I think he was there when God put it on the earth. So for everybody, Peter Thomas, and is also happily my friend. All right, for everybody, Quasar Markets Live. We'll see you right back here next week, Pete.
All righty, deal is.